What is good, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the channel once again, and welcome to another episode from my SiNzsational series. I am dedicating this episode to the E-50M, one of my favorite tanks at tier 10, if not my favorite tier 10. Definitely my favorite tier 10 medium tank, that is for sure. It is just incredible. It's the perfect combination between armor, mobility, and deadliness because of the gun. It's just ridiculous. It has everything. Its ability to swap between a sniper and a brawler is just second to none, and if you understand how to use this tank correctly, it is absolutely ridiculous. So hopefully you guys are going to see and learn something in terms of how to use the E-50M in this game. But we are here on Scorpion Pass, a map that I like. I know it's very conflicted in opinion. Some people don't like it, but I really do like it. Moving into this middle ground area to get some early spots off. We spot a T110 E5, but we don't get a shot at him. A Conqueror bounces us, and luckily we don't get punished for making an early push. But I really like maneuvering around this middle area of this map. Artillery is just about to miss me. That is the only problem with going to this area, is if you don't stay mobile, you can be very subject to artillery. But as long as you stay moving around, then you should be okay. So I see that a Conqueror has popped up on my right hand side, and we managed to get a cheeky snapshot into his side armor before he can retaliate. That was a PG member as well. You know, those guys are some of the best players in the game, so definitely need to worry about him. But yes, we are off the mark in terms of damage, and that is always good. So I'm going to see if I can spot him again, but it appears that he has gone a different direction. We can't hit the T-32, but we do light him up. So now I'm going to check my left hand side to see if anything is pushing over this way. Turkey is posting up on the ridge to my left, so I know I'm relatively safe from being flanked. Just kind of scoping around to see if there's anything that I can shoot at right now, but I don't have any targets in front of me. So I'm going to push around the corner, see what's here, and oh my goodness, that's a Jaeger. So I managed to luckily snapshot his tracks before backing up so that he couldn't get on target and smash me for 1,000 health, because that's never good. But he is going to crest here, and look at the armor. There you go. Bounces straight off because I was at a very nice side scrape angle. I just missed the shot on his cupola, which is on top of the tank. But I noticed the E5 here in the lower ground area has been far too aggressive. We get a shot straight through his rear armor. I think he was trying to push Turkey at the time. There's an M103 with him as well. But here we go with another side shot into him, which damages his tracks as well. He bounces the return shot onto me, and we are going to get another shot through his side, which damages his ammo. The Jaeger isn't pushing over, so I know I can freely shoot at the E5. I think Turkey is keeping the Jaeger busy. The E5 bounces me again before I get another shot into his side armor, and then the Jagdtiger takes him out. So we're now on 5 hits of damage, and we managed to get some assisted damage from spotting that E5 and keeping him in position. So the Jaeger is still here. I don't know how this shot landed. I really don't. Like, look at this. How on earth did that penetrate? I mean, I skeptically shot. You know, I just took that shot thinking this is never going to penetrate. The cupola on top of the tank is far too angled for me to penetrate. But that one went straight through. So whatever. I'm not gonna complain. It's another penetration. I'll take it. So an Object 140 pops out. Unfortunately, the auto-aim snapshot on him bounces off, and he takes my tracks out and deals some damage to me. So we've taken our first hit so far. I think that might be... I honestly think that might be the only hit that I take this entire game. But if I'm wrong, then don't quote me on that, because I'm pretty sure it was. But we are going to have to be more aggressive here, because we're not getting a lot done. It is a good area to go to, but only if there's a lot of things that you can shoot across the way here, but nothing seems to be pushing up. So that Jaeger did disappear. Is he dead at this point? I can't remember, but eventually the KV-4 is going to pop up, and just as I say that, it does. Trying to get a shot at his cupola, but unfortunately the shell misses. Artillery deals a nice portion of damage to the KV-4. Then Turkey takes a chunk of his health, and I'm going to push up and finish him off. That is our first kill of the game. And the Jaegeru is now in the lower ground with the M103. My apologies, he is not dead yet. He is still down there, and it seems that our artillery is trying to focus him. I'm going to take a shot at the M103 because he's distracted trying to get a shot at Turkey. It's a very nice roll of 473 with our AP rounds there. The Jaegeru is now getting aggressive. I've got a nice shot into his side armor, and we punish him for pushing forward as well. Now I noticed that the heavy tanks that were on the other side are now pushing around behind me, so I'm going to turn around and try and get some shots at these guys as well. It's an E75 and a T110 E5. We just dirt the shell into the rock there. Unfortunately, I probably should have stopped and aimed for like 1 second longer, but with my haste it didn't go through. That shell bounced off the E5's upper plate, which, as you guys are probably well aware of now, is ridiculously well angled and armored. Get a nice shot into the side of the E75, which damages his ammo, and we get some spotting damage for lighting him up as well. So the E5 is going to push me. I get a shot through his lower plate and either damage a module or kill a crew member there because we got a critical hit. And then once again, the E5 bounces me, and I get a shot straight through his lower plate again. So we're now up to 12 hits of damage, 6 assisted hits. Going for the side of his turret there, but unfortunately it does not go through. The E5 is now one of the hardest tanks to penetrate, but somehow this shot right here goes straight through. I mean, why not? That rarely ever happens. Every time I aim at the hatch now, it doesn't go through, ever since it got the buff. But if you hit it flush, it goes through. So the E75 got taken out. The E5 is the only guy left on this side. I'm just going to be aggressive and push him. I've got way more health than he does. And you're going to see a good example of side scraping here. I bait my side armor out. He takes a shot and tracks me, and then I manage to get a shot through his lower plate and finish him off. So we're now on 2 kills with 14 damage and hits and 6 assisted hits, as well as 7 critical hits. And there's only 3 tanks remaining. One of them is an M4043, who Turkey has just lit up. And with the STB-1's DPM, he should be able to kill him before I manage to get into position. But for some reason, the M4043 plays aggressively, and, well, 13 damage is 13 damage. And that's my 3rd kill of the game. So finish that artillery off, preventing him from snapshotting Turkey, who was on very low health at the time, as you could see. Now we are searching for the one remaining enemy tank, the Object 704, but fortunately he is AFK, so Turkey is going to get a few shots into him as I am pushing up to get into a position where I can put a shot into him, like so. A nice roll for 382, well, I say a nice roll, that's below average, but going to get another shot here. 437, and I'm thinking that Turkey is gonna finish him off, but he gets screwed by RNG and rolls for 361, allowing me to kill the 704 with 16 hits of damage, 4 kills, and that was a very nice game for us both. So let us see how we did. We tallied up 4,860 experience with the daily double, 4 enemies destroyed, 6,108 damage, 18 penetrations, 4 enemies detected, 2,025 assisted damage, and just shy of 3,000 damage blocked. We picked up the high caliber medal as well as a first class mastery badge. Obviously I've still got 2 marks of excellence, and we picked up the sniper medal as well, which is just the nature of the E-50M's gun. Turkey had a nice game as well with 5,100 damage, but we're going to move on to the next game, and I'll catch you guys there. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the second replay. We are here on Heilbronn, and I think that's how you pronounce it. I'm not entirely certain of that. If it's different, then my bad, whatever. But that's how I pronounce it. That's how it looks as if it should be pronounced, but whatever. Now, I have mixed feelings about this map, I really do, because every time that I've played this map, whether I get South Spawn or North Spawn, I'd say actually it's particularly worse when you're on North Spawn, because of the hills that basically are at the spawn. The way that the meta seems to be on this game, or on this map particularly, is that people just seem to camp the hills just outside their spawn area, and that leads to very, very boring gameplay. And it's just like, if the enemy team has nasty TDs such as Death Stars, Waffles, etc, etc, it just leads to those guys sitting on the hill, and when you try to be aggressive you get outspotted by said tanks, and then you get ripped. And you're going to see an example of that when I poke around this corner to see what is lurking. So this is generally where I like to go, but it seems that this map is very, very, very passive. And when it first came out, I really thought that it would be really good. There's lots of open areas, and you've also got the urban area over on the left or right hand side of the map, depending on where you spawn, which obviously tanks like, you know, heavy tanks can get involved in that area, some heavily armoured TDs can get involved in that area, but it doesn't seem to happen. So I push around the corner here and get spotted. I don't know what it is that's lighting me up, but there's things sitting on the hill, and yeah, of course, there's the Death Star and there's the Waffle Panzer IV. So I try and back up. Luckily, the Death Star only hits me in my tracks and does 700 damage instead of penetrating my tank for 2,000 damage and wiping me out of the game. We managed to get a shot into the side of his turret, and I'm taking a shot at this Conqueror here. We hit him blind and go straight through his upper plate because it was angled downwards towards me. It meant that it negated all the effects of the actual armor, and we could just pierce straight through it. Now, I'm having to sit on this corner and see if I can light that Conqueror up again, but that doesn't seem to be how this match is going. Nothing's... you see what I mean about this map and how it plays. Like, everyone... specifically if you get the north spawn, everybody seems to sit on those hills and wait for the other team to come forward. And it's just... It's a shame that it plays out that way. It is. You know, like, what is this E100 doing here? Shouldn't he be going over to the town, the urban area? Unfortunately, that shot bounced off his upper plate because we did have to snap it a little to make sure that we didn't get hit by anything that is sitting on the hills at the back, as you know they like to do on this map. An E50 pops up to my left hand side, does track me, but in return we damage his ammo rack, and then somebody else gets a shot into him. So we're well off the mark in terms of damage. 3 hits so far with 3 critical hits. So every shot that we have done so far has either killed someone's crew member or damaged a module, and that poor T10 got his turret knocked off because it's now sitting on a strange portion of his tank. That is no longer where it should be. But I'm going to swap positions because not a lot is happening on this corner. And at the time, Cranky, who I was platooned with, was asking me for some assistance because this 1390 was about to get a flank on him, and Cranky was getting shot from 2 directions. So the 1390 is about to crest the hill, but for some reason, well, he's a light tank, so he drops off. Cranky is getting shot from both directions. I'm trying to get a shot at the M103, but we don't have one available right now. Just trying to make sure that I can keep Cranky safe from anyone trying to push around the corner. The 1390 doesn't seem to push round, so I'm going to head back to my original position, I think. Nope, never mind, never mind. So Cranky is getting pretty badly damaged here, and I'm going to poke out and take a shot at the M103, which goes straight through his lower plate. 420, blaze it! Straight through his lower plate. A nice roll. Above average roll. I'll take that every single time. So I do have to be cautious because I'm on just under 900 health, which means that this Centurion Action 10 who is pushing around can potentially 2-hit me if he gets some nice rolls, which he does indeed push around and try to take a shot at me. Unfortunately, my shot doesn't go through. Luckily, or my shot misses his turret, but his shot in turn only tracks me. And it's at this point when I'm thinking, okay, I need to get out of here. We did bounce his second shot there. The Conqueror is pushing round. I take a shot at him on the move, which unfortunately does bounce. But I'm going to angle here. But for some reason, he's not even shooting at me. This guy, I don't know what he was doing. But he wasn't shooting at me when he came around the corner. And, well, if you're not going to shoot at me, I'm going to shoot at you. And then my E-75 friend to my right-hand side is going to take you out. Maybe I damaged his ammo with that shot earlier in the game, and that's why he wasn't able to shoot. But I'm not going to speculate. I'm happy with just getting the kill. The Centurion is still there. We take a snapshot, and it does not go through. He does penetrate my lower plate, so now we're on a dire amount of health. 490. Anything apart from the Centurion, unless he gets a high roll, is going to be able to take me out. The 1390 isn't, but you know, he's got an autoloader, so I could very well be screwed if he creeps up on me. Now, the M103 gets taken out. I noticed that the E100 is still over on this side. I'm kind of just, at this point, I was just umming and ahhing about where to go. I've got 6 hits of damage and 4 critical hits, but I'm not entirely sure where to go, because I know that the entirety of the enemy team is going to be sat on that hill still. I'm trying to get some shots at the Centurion, but it's just not working out. I'm not able to get a shot on him. He is around a different area of the map. The E100 pushes round. We get a shot into his side armor. He's going to aim at me. For whatever reason, he's not firing. I'm trying to side scrape against the rock. We get another shot through his side armor, which damages his engine as well, because it must have damaged his transmission. And then we finish him off. Luckily, he doesn't finish our E75 friend, who was backing us up at the time. So now we are on 9 hits of damage with a kill, and there's still quite a lot of enemy tanks remaining. There's 5 enemy tanks remaining with a lot of health. So now it's just a case of finding them, scoping them out, and getting the damage done. But we know where they're going to be. We know that the Waffle is over in the town, as well as the T-54E1, as they popped up on the radar earlier. Wargaming, if you're listening, please give us the last known location and add it to our map, because we really do need it. It would help us so much, and it's just a nice feature, you know, especially for newer players to be able to use, and you know, just for all of us to be able to use. It's a very nice feature, and it is definitely helpful towards the player base. Sorry, for some reason I thought there was a T-54E1 over this way, but that's because he is on our team. It's this guy straight ahead of me, Tricky, and it's actually the Centurion Action 10 that's moved over here, and who is with, or not with the Waffle, but a Waffle E100 is in close proximity. So we're waiting for the Centurion to poke out, but he does not. Now, this is what I'm talking about in terms of the E-50M switching from a sniper, which is pretty much how I mostly used it for this game. But then you can go into brawl mode because of the armor that it does have. Now, I don't want to poke out, and neither does the Centurion, because if I go around this corner and play too aggressively, I may get wiped out by the Waffle on the left-hand side. So I'm going to side scrape this corner and hope that the Centurion pushes around and tries to get a shot into me. But I do have Cranky coming up behind, as well as the T-54E1. The Centurion looked as if he was getting brave there, but decided to back up for some reason. It is at this point when the T-54E1 doesn't care. He's like, well, I got enough health to do this, so let me just YOLO around the corner and put my autoloader to good use. I get a nice snapshot into the side of the Centurion for a below average roll of 350. But if you think that was a below average roll, I've got one to show you that's coming up shortly that is absolutely disgraceful. So we push around the corner, the Centurion is looking at us, and look at that for a roll, 299. I think that may be as low as this gun rolls, but if someone could confirm that in the comments, that would be great. So we need to finish off the Action 10 here. He's not looking my way, and then we just get a shot into his side armor and finish him off. So we're now on to 12 hits with 2 kills, and there is an Object 268, a Waffle E100, and a Death Star remaining, as well as a heavy tank, which I think was a Type 4 heavy. The Waffle is there on my right hand side. He's not looking at me though, so I load a HE round, pop a shot through the back of his turret for 496. Unfortunately, it didn't roll high enough to finish him off, but the T-54E1 is there to finish the job. 13 hits of damage now, and a 500 roll, or nearabouts 500 roll, is going to help our damage count at the end of the game. So now it's all about finding the remaining enemy tanks, who I believe were pushing up to our base to try and take out our E4, and we're going to push over the hill here. I think the 268 was around this area. I'm communicating with Cranky at the time, saying, you know, I'll go first. But then this guy pops up side on anyway. Unfortunately, our snapshot misses completely, but Cranky puts a 183mm shell straight into that guy's booty, and well, rip basically. But I'm kind of glad he did, because now Cranky's reloading, and this is going to give me an opportunity to do more damage to the Death Star. The E4 just chipped away at his health, and the Death Star is going to finish off the E4. We get a nice roll for 483 with AP through the side of his turret right there, and then we're going to finish him off here, and he is down. So now we're on 15 hits with 3 kills, and it's all about finding this Type 4 heavy. And any guess on where he is going to be, ladies and gentlemen? Any guess? Just guess. This this is why I sat here and explained that I think the meta on Heilbronn, unfortunately, is kind of lame at the moment, because you're going to see where he is. Okay, I was saying to Cranky at this point, I guarantee this guy is going to be up somewhere around the spawn area, and he's just going to be over here defending the base. And you know, he has every right to do that. He has every right to play the game how he feels he wants to play it. But he could have been more helpful towards his team had he have been aggressive. So now I'm looking for him. I know that this guy can kill me as well, but luckily I take a turn and he bounces me. My heat round does nothing but damage his tracks because of the angle that he was presenting himself at. But I need to close the distance so that he doesn't finish me off when he reloads. So the T-54E1 on my team and Cranky are coming up behind me. I'm going to need some support. I'm thinking that if I go this way, he's not going to be suspecting it, but then I realized that actually there isn't a way to go this way, because it's just going to take me back down the hill. So we need to push at him at the angle that he wants me to come at him at, unfortunately. But with the trusty E-50M armor and, you know, a good old skill round loaded, we get a shot straight through. Well, no, we don't. That one bounced. I should have aimed at the side of his turret there, because had I have aimed there, it would have gone straight through. I don't know why he's not aiming at me. He's not focusing on me at all when he could get the kill. We did bounce off his cupola there, but we push up and we get a shot straight through the side of his turret for 454, which is a very nice amount of damage. Again, he's still not focusing me. I don't know why. I think he was aiming for... He was either aiming for Cranky or the T-54E1 at this point. Cranky was an assured kill. And then he aims at me and doesn't shoot. We pen his cupola with the heat round. Up to 18 hits of damage now. Yep, he was focusing Cranky. We get another shot through his turret. And the T-54E1 is going to distract him. Keeps him tracked. And then I finish him off with a nice above average damage roll for 407, and that is 20 hits done with 9 critical hits and 4 kills. So a very respectable game in the E-50M. 4,788 damage done, 4 enemies destroyed, 7,449 damage, 20 penetrations, and just over 1.5k blocked. Again, we picked up the high caliber medal as well as a first class mastery badge. This tank is insane to get a mastery badge, by the way, but I have done it, so pat myself on the chest. Yes, a very good result indeed. And that is it for this episode. I hope you did enjoy, once again, as always, ladies and gentlemen, and I will catch you in the next one. So until then, I hope you have a great day and peace out.